Okay. Now we're going to divide mixed numbers, and seeing as though this will follow the same pattern as multiplying dividing mixed numbers follows along those same lines, you will have to make sure that everything is put into fraction form. But to start off with, it's always a good idea that you take an extra minute and look at them and estimate to see about where your final answer should be. So the first example gives us 7 2/5, and we're going to divide that by 1 3/7. Okay. I always think it's a decent idea, especially when you estimate with division. Estimate what you're going to divide by first. Doesn't mean you won't round what you're going to divide by first, then you'll round the other one. But when you round what you're going to divide by, you may have to do some adjusting sometimes, which makes it easy. 1 3/7, if we round to the nearest whole, is going to round to what? 1. 7 2/5 is 7. 7 divided by 1 is 7. Okay? Remember the rule with the fraction. If the fraction represents a value that is greater than half, we round up. 2/5 is not quite half. That's why we stay at 7. 3/7, again, not quite half, because half of 7 is really 3.5. The 3 falls just underneath that, therefore it stays at a 1. Okay? So I'll give you a couple of those to try. This is all review, and this goes back even to the last chapter. 14 9/16 divided by 3 8/19 and 100 divided by 9 2/3. You follow? Okay, let's round. We're going to divide by first. 3 8/19 is what? 3. Stays at 3. Okay. Now, as I look at the 14 9/16, yes, this 9 is over half, so it's going to be 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5. But the benefit of rounding what you divide by first is if you look at this and you say, okay, my choice is between a 14 or a 15. Which of those is divisible by 3? It's definitely the 15. So even like if that were a 7, if that were 14 7/16, you would still play the game and say, okay, well, that rounded to 3, it's got to be 15, okay, because that's what it's divisible by. That's why you do that one first. 9 2/3 definitely would round to 10. 100 is divisible by 10, and we get 10. Okay. Any questions there on the division? Joe?
So what would be?
No, when you estimate, you can, especially when you divide, you try to find compatible numbers. Once you figure out that part, and you say, okay, it's 10. Like if this were, say this were 101, you're divided by 10. You'd say, oh, okay, what number closest to 101 is divisible by 10? And you'd say 100. Right? Because 100 ends in a, which makes it divisible by, right? Okay. Which brings us to the meat of today, which really, after we did 5-2, which was multiplying mixed numbers, dividing mixed numbers really is not that much different, except for a twist, right? Fraction form, 7 becomes 7 over 1. When I divide with fractions, yes, this is still a fraction. I need to multiply by its reciprocal. So if what I'm working with here really is what? 7 over 6. When I flip it, it's 6 over 7. Look diagonally, 1, 1 equals 6 over 1, which equals 6. So that added step of finding out what that is as an improper fraction and then flipping it is really the only thing that's been added to the process today. Here, you try one. 6 and 5, 6 divided by 3 and a third. Yep. Okay, we need to convert to fraction form. 6 times 6, 36. 36 plus 5, 41 over 6. Multiplied by the reciprocal. So we need to find out what this is, first of all. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10 equals 10 over 3. That's before I flipped it. Now I flip it, and we've got 3 over 10. From there, we say, okay, equals 41 over 20. 20 into 41, 2 with 1 left, 2 and 1, 20th. 8 and 3/4 divided by 2 1/2. Try another one. 8 times 4, 32 plus 3, 35 over 4. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 5, 1 is 5 over 2. Now I flip it, 2 over 5. I got a bunch of stuff in common. 35 and 5 both have 5. There's 1 there and 7 there. And of course, 7 over 2 is 3 and 1/2. Okay. Any major issues?
Nope.
You want your homework?
Yeah.
Take out your worksheet for 5-4.
Oh, you're doing it.
Okay. Worksheet 5-4, numbers 1 through 9, all are estimating problems. Okay. I think we did number 1 mistakenly yesterday, so we could take a look at number 1 again, just in case. And we said 0 1/2 or 1, 4/5 was 1, 7/8 was also 1, and that were equal 1. That was number 1. Number 2, 2 and 3/7 divided by 5/6. First one we want to round is the 5/6. 0 1/2 or 1 because it's a regular fraction. 1. Now let's focus on the 2 and 3/7. Is 3/7 enough to make that 2 a 3? So 2 divided by 1 is 2. Okay, so numbers 1 and 2 are done for you. Now you get to 3 through 9, which are, well, 4 is another regular fraction one, but, okay. Now 10 to 33, find each quotient. I'll let you gamble.
Money got plenty.
Here's your option. Worksheet 5-4, numbers 1 through odd, or Here's the catch, though. Here's the catch. Each of these are worth 2 points each. So if you get one wrong, so what do we say? So make it about 17. So let's see. If you get one of those wrong already, puts you at 94%. Takes away about 6 percentage points. Each one you get wrong. Okay? So each one is worth 6 percentage points from 100. So you get one wrong, you're down to a 94. You get another one not wrong, you're down to an 88. You get a third one wrong, you're down to an 82. Okay? Or you do those, you're at 1 point each, and each one is worth 3%. If you get one wrong, you're down to a 97. You get two wrong, you're down to a 94. Now you're doing twice as many problems, but the mistakes don't hurt you nearly as much. So it depends on how confident you are. Here's what I would recommend, especially for those of you that have been a little bit less than responsible as of late. I would recommend that you start off, and as you work through this worksheet this morning in the 30 minutes you have in class, I would start off doing the odd, so that at least those got finished. And then if I was interested in option 2, I would go and I'd start doing all the evens, so that I can say, all right, then if I didn't finish the evens, I could say, well, you know, I just did the odd and just rolling the dice. Because if you think you're going to do them all and you don't finish, and you end up on number 20, that's not going to help you either way, no matter what option you pick. So that's what I would recommend to you. So please make sure that you finish this. There's no reason why you should not get a majority, if not this whole thing.